So welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. They're behind the glass now. Stop there. So.
Okay, so yes, for those who don't know the acoustic, it's this interface. It's communicating via OSC with my laptop. I have two different mappings that I can switch with the button here. I don't need to go in more details now, I guess. You can ask me questions at the end of the performance.
Okay. Well, this in-process piece is a 3D movement piece based on the idea of a 500 years old instrument. The first double bass began to appear in 1555, 54 in Europe. And this baby, which is only 20 years old. Yeah, it's a very naughty one. Anyway, this instrument is here, and it tries to communicate with the new instrument. So the first movement is about this. The piece would be called probably Rencontre de Premier, Deuxième et Troisième Degrés. The first is this trying to do the connection. The second is a dialogue, more interaction. The third one is exchange of idioms. So the bass is going to provide the groove for the artistic to improvise.
Yeah, the choice of sounds for the T-stick, is something you did for this piece or you are reusing?
No, I'm reusing the sound synthesis for my two first composition for T-stick. It's granulation in the first movement, and in movement 2 and 3 it's FM synthesis.
The granulation you're based on recordings from the or something?
Not at all. It's the same composite sound file that I used. It's based on a cymbal crash, some reverse percussion, and a synth. But no, there was no idea of imitating the
transforming, right? Yeah, I thought it mixed up actually. Mostly I really like rhythmical stuff, so I like the third. But I thought it blended well the different sounds, maybe because I was closer to the. But it was a good. It didn't overlap too much in the sense of one kind of covers the other.
So, a couple things. I think this kind of setting is coming into contact with one of the fundamental challenges of electroacoustic music, and that's kind of existing in the same space. And I'm curious if, for not just for today, but for performances like this with the T-stick, I mean, this can apply to any any DMI. Very much I was struck by how, of course, the acoustic sound of the bass is very kind of in our face, very present, very, very real in the room, whereas with the speakers, with two speakers behind the performers, as well with a lot of reverb, then it's like the T-stick is out here in the buildings behind the performance. So, and usually on a concert stage, on a stage, it's the opposite that happens. You have the DMI or the electronic or the fixed media, whatever it is, in the PA, which is now completely flat and blasting in your face. And then if you have an unmiked acoustic instrument, then the acoustic instrument is way back in the room. So I'm curious if you've thought about this issue and to maybe adjust the patch based in the room.
No, because 1 week ago we did not know where we would play.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I think the volume makes a big difference. Just
Yeah.
like I noticed, it was just probably lower than it should have been,
Mm-hmm.
and that I think will give more of a front presence.
Maybe, yeah, but it's true that I play with reverb in my patch.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that what I have experienced so far, it's in like bigger concert halls with sometimes not only PAs, but a whole array of speakers. So like it's like much more immersive and you have sound from everywhere. So yeah, it's with more time, it's something we would have to think about.
So there, from there, you felt the T-stick to be a little subdued.
Yeah, it was just not loud enough.
Yeah, from here to mostly in the first movement, I thought. The turn was kind of better.
Yeah.
If
But
you have
for
time,
the-
you can
for-
try it
for
again.
the first movement, it was a little bit the idea also.
But yeah, if you have time, you can do it back to
Go.
training again.
Now we play 3 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, the reverse. So there you could do.
Yeah, you could just. Well, why don't you play like just a little
Would you like to be there, like DJing the thing?
Well, it's better actually if we set the level and then
Okay.
just play a little excerpt, and then we'll see if it's loud enough, and then we can readjust.
Well, you have a good ear, right?
Yeah, but
Why don't you sit there and
No, but it's from over there that I need.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just adjust.
And before you play your excerpt, can I make a suggestion?
Mhm.
I think it's really important with the T-stick for audiences who don't know it to like convince them that it's an instrument and there's something going on. So I think it's really important if the performance space is kind of between the lights, that you both be equally forward
Mhm.
and centered, and maybe even turn towards each other slightly. Like your bass is this way, but and then I think it feels like, oh, these are two equal partners in the creation of this space, and make sure that your your staging is similar, right? That you're not, one person isn't behind something, the other person isn't kind of, right? That you're both equally matching your stage presence.
Good idea.
Yeah.
So,
Just play like a little part where, let's say, both of you guys are really
So
like
then we should take
kind of
water.
a similar
Yeah, sure.
What's your quiet? What's your
Intense or
emphasis. Yeah.
like intense?
Where both of you guys are kind of playing and are at the same time. Okay. So, what do we think?
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
or-
good.
It sounds more present.
Yeah.
So I
More
remove
cowbells.
this sponsorship. I remove this sponsorship from Reebok.
Oh yeah.
See, this is
Never gets old.
it's not joking, right?
Never
I
gets
have
old.
this student who did an amazing job. I told you already, he came from the University of Wisconsin.
Not in our
Right, and he was doing his work here, and he was always with his Wisconsin t-shirt. So every video it looks like the work he was doing here was done in Wisconsin. Because we forgot that this camera. Anyway. So, all again from the beginning?
From the beginning?
From the beginning, yeah, no, let's not reverse the order.
No.
No, well, it's kind of, it is on an angle, right, so it's like,
Yeah, think more,
Yeah.
about
yeah, right, the camera, treat the camera as center stage. Oh, yeah, I think, I think that, let's see, let's look it up.
It's still going. I didn't know
Oh, yeah.
I should
That look-
stop it or not.
That looks
so-
good. Why don't we just, do you want to stop and restart it? Just so we get to